The superpower that every citizen has is the ability to control where they spend their time, money, and attention. By focusing these on supporting local businesses, you are having a profound impact on your friends, your family, and your local community. So if you want to change the world, you can start with buying local. Welcome back, everyone, to Buying Local. I'm your host, Mike Nelson from Five Towers Media, joined today by Sean Willcoxon from Performance Industrial. How are you?
Good. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I listen, I know how busy you are, so I really do. I see your schedule today. I'm like, man. And I just appreciate you coming down and spending some time with us today. So.
Yeah, it's good to be here having this microphone for lunch.
Yeah. So, give us a quick rundown for the people that are listening that don't know who Performance Industrial is or what they do. Give us just kind of a quick rundown about, who you guys are.
All right. Well, I've been with Performance Industrial for about a year, and, I kind of figured that I knew what Performance Industrial was when I joined, and, it's a big learning experience.
Yeah.
Our most forward-facing customer thing is probably epoxy floors. Do a lot of epoxy floors, have a big epoxy floor division, work with a lot of local contractors, and epoxy floors on the commercial side of the world. We don't do too much from the residential epoxy floors. Everybody always asks the first question is, well, do you do garages?
Right.
Well, we're not, we don't compete with their local main guy that does garages because our epoxy of floors will last you 30 years and, the pricing is a little bit different.
Yeah.
However, the best way to explain what we do, we're an industrial cleaner. And that's the part that I, realized that there's a lot going on in our world that just happens and no one sees unless you're there. So we clean kitchen exhaust systems, which happen after restaurants close. So we never see, when we do overhead cleaning, we do confined space cleaning, combustible dust cleaning. We clean rafters. We are industrial painting, HVAC duct cleaning, and it goes on and on and on in this industrial cleaning world. But it's mainly manufacturing, mainly commercial customers, but it always happens out of the customer's eye or the general public's eye, I guess the best way to put it. But the stuff that we get into is very interesting, and it's this hidden secret world unless you're in it.
Yeah. So you say you've been in some interesting jobs. I mean, I've had the pleasure of going on a few jobs recently that were pretty cool. Yeah. We were down at Paesan's down.
Yeah, that's a great place. Our friend Frank Scavio there in Paesan's Pizza, big fan.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then recently we're at Mikado, which was also amazing and really cool to be in those buildings downtown Glens Falls. But then also back. I think it was almost 15 years ago now. I worked for Performance Industrial for Mark before Bill and Karen bought it. And, I definitely went to some really cool job sites back then too, looking at things from a sales standpoint. And what do you think if you can talk about it, I guess I don't know how that works with, can you talk about it? Can you not talk about it? But what do you think the coolest job is that you guys have been on recently?
Well, I mean, I came out of kitchens, right? I was in the culinary world forever. And to see how Mikado in South Glens Falls is one of the most probably, up-to-date builds from a kitchen exhaust system standpoint. So they're your classic hibachi, sushi. So you have this great local company that invested into their business and put in all of the right systems. It's not like an old antiquated system. You were there, you saw it. But to see...
It's crazy.
The ductwork looks like it had to be engineered from the middle of Mars because of how it all comes in different directions and runs to different fans. But, that's how you can run all those different cooktops in the front of the house and then, a big hood in the back of the house. But, people don't realize that, they're sitting at Mikado, they're having this great meal, but people cooking in front of them are creating fumes and grease, but it's got to go somewhere. Yeah. And the way that those tables kind of suck it into the ground and then through the basement and out the back, that one's pretty neat. Yeah. But we've gotten a chance. I mean, we get to travel a little bit. I know this is a buying local, but because our business is very manufacturing based, we get to travel a little bit. So we travel out in Endicott, New York, and we were in a plant that makes pipes, like pipes that are as big as 36 inches round that go in the ground and that they're they actually
black iron or
no,
PVC
it's like plastic,
like the
plastic pipes. And to see plastic pipes being made on a conveyor belt line, it's just melted material.
Yeah.
That through pressure and heat and chemical get made into pipes. It's very interesting. It's like the manufacturing world of, how does that happen? Like a TV show, how does that happen? Where did that come from? There's a local plant that we were in quite a bit. They've become a good customer that takes, and it's the final process of recycling. Like, I've asked myself 1,000 times, is this soda can that I'm wasting my time? You think wasting your time, plastic, is it ever going to be, actually recycled? Well, this plant right in Albany they take pallets of compacted, like cube compacted Pepsi bottles, or I shouldn't say Pepsi, plastic bottles of any kind, and they get processed through this plant. And by the time they leave, they're tiny little pebbles of plastic that are being sold back to the big soda companies, water companies, to be made into bottles again. So I can tell you that they actually do recycle them, and the whole process of it is extremely interesting.
So they take the plastic bottles from the recycle, like the place that recycles them. Yeah. They melt them down into these.
So think that, you take your plastic bottle, you stand on it and squish it and squeeze that top back on so it's compacted into nothing. Well, the pallets come in like that. They must go through somewhere else where they get compacted into these Q-shaped pallets that are stacked 50 feet in the air, a football field long.
Yeah.
And from there, they get grinded, cleaned, dried, processed, and then made into like a neutral color. It's like this gray looking color, like almost pebble, like the size of a pebble. That's that plastic completely cleaned and sanitized. And then it goes back to the bottling plants that take that and remake bottles out of it. And so when you see those bottles that say 100% recycled product, it truly is 100% recycled product. Now, it's one of those dirty job TV shows because it's not a clean process by any means, but that's why, it keeps our company going. But to see it actually happen, and it's from one side of the warehouse, the plastic bottles come in to down all the way to the other end, tractor trailer loads of
just one big conveyor belt.
You would think, but I mean, it's very interesting on how many people it takes and the forklifts it takes, but it does happen. And those are the things that, as a regular consumer, unless you work for that company or you're in the recycling business, you will never see that.
Yeah.
And that's what this world has kind of brought me into. And it's just pretty interesting.
Yeah. So all sorts of new exposure to.
Yeah. And I don't know if I'll ever, I don't know how that's going to help me in life other than believing that recycling is real, committing that recycling is real, but it's just interesting.
Yeah. Well, I know. So you guys do, like you said, you do all the industrial, commercial cleaning, painting, you do the kitchen exhaust, the hood cleanings. So if you're listening, you own a restaurant.
Yeah. Ceiling tile cleaning. That's another big one.
The ceiling tiles.
Ceiling tile cleaning, which I think, we talked about what do we want to focus on. I worked in the restaurant business forever. Yeah. And so if you work in the restaurant business or anywhere where there is any type of cooking equipment that releases grease-laden vapors, and it's like, what's that? Well, that's just basically what comes out of the pan that you can't see and you're cooking. And your ceiling begins to get, or even your walls begins to get that brown texture. It's just a really slim coat of grease, and it's natural. It happens. But we have a cleaning product that can literally cut that, and we can spray something on and wipe it off, and we can take what looks like a yellow ceiling and make it white again very quickly, very efficiently. And we go into places where they say, well, we were just about to replace all of our ceiling tiles. Right. Well, not only can we clean your ceiling tiles, we can also clean the grid that the ceiling tile, so we can bring a ceiling back to life. And slowly but surely that is growing some steam. But I think what the problem is people don't even realize that they can do it. That's a solution.
Yeah.
And so, trying to educate people, like, don't change your whole thing. And then also, like, no, just accepting the fact that my ceiling has to be brown. Like, no, like, we can bring it back to life. And for me, being in the restaurant business so long, when you walk into a kitchen that's bright and clean and refreshed, that's a culture thing.
I bet the Department of Health likes it too.
Yeah, I'm sure they would. Haven't asked them, but I'm sure they would.
I bet, and obviously, I've witnessed that process, and it really is kind of like magical, like to watch that yellow, brownish wall or ceiling tile. All of a sudden, it just becomes white, like it was new.
Yeah,
yeah. So tell me, I think, having worked for Mark back in the day, and now seeing what Bill and Karen are doing with Performance Industrial, it's just amazing. And maybe we should talk a little bit about all the stuff that you guys are doing in the community, because I happen to know that you guys do a ton of community giving, whether it's time or just all sorts of time spent in the community right now. Like, give us a lowdown on some of the things that you're doing.
So, Bill and Karen, they have a heart for giving back. Where it came from or whatnot, I don't know. But all I know is that they are devoted and committed to giving back locally. And it really doesn't matter what the cause is. I can't tell you that we've been asked, for any type of donation and never given something, or helped in some way. And I think that it just is part of the culture of the company that Bill and Karen want to create. And then it's, my job and our other manager's job to carry on. Yeah. And what it comes right down to is that, Bill and Karen are willing to spend a couple extra bucks on a product that they might be able to get cheaper, somewhere online and sent directly to us if it's local. And if it's for the right reasons and you see, people also supporting it back. And I think it's important from a standpoint of the giving back. We're involved with American Cancer Society, Folds of Honor, Saratoga Bridges, and I hate this, it just goes on and on and on. About why, I can come up with so many. Our biggest ones are American Cancer Society, Saratoga Bridges, and Folds of Honor. And when you go to the events, right, we're all part of these events. You go to them, you go out to dinner, you see a big gala. When you look up on stage, you don't see big corporate companies, at least not here locally in Albany. And I don't know, how it is in big metro cities, but when you go there, you don't see, and I came out of the restaurant business, remember, so you don't see Red Lobster, you don't see Applebee's, you don't see, big corporate companies that are giving back internally into the community. You see the local restaurant, the local business person, the local car dealership, or us, the local cleaning company. We're the ones that are giving back. And it's important because all of that money stays right here in the capital region. It supports the capital region, and it supports the people that are in need here in the capital region. And I would say that our giving community in the capital region, it's a really, I don't know if it's different otherwise, but it's special. It's special. The people that give, they support other people that give. They do it for the right reasons. And through that network of people, I think, you grow friendships and you start to see the fruits of your labor and how you're helping and support and, what scholarship you help fund or how much money you've helped give to the American Cancer Society for more research or how are you helping somebody to live a little bit more of a supportive life through Saratoga Bridges. You can't, it's huge. Yeah. And like I said, Bill and Karen have committed to it. We do that as part of our, as a part of our company's everyday business. There's a lot of my job that it's just managing, the not-for-profits. We have a Drive Out Cancer League, which is really awesome. 10 local courses that, give, if not 100% of the greens fees and cart fees back to us, but all the money raised through all the teams that are there goes directly to American Cancer Society. Folds of Honor, unfortunately, in the world, I feel like, our first responders, our military, they've gotten a bad rap that they just don't deserve. We sit here every day, free as it gets, to do what we want, and there's people out there sacrificing for us. The big tagline of freedom isn't free, it sits so strong with me because it truly isn't. I never served in the military. People ask all the time, "Are you from the military?" I'm like, no, I don't know if I could do it. But I know because people that can, I get to live the life that I live. Like people are actually going and dying for me to live the life that I have. And I don't take it for granted. And I don't, I think that when people do, it's just a dangerous place. You know what I mean? When you call the police, I want someone to come. When I have, when they have an emergency, like I want an ambulance to come or I want a fire engine to come. And I want to be grateful that they do. And I want to thank, those people run when everybody else is running out, they're running in. And especially with, 9/11 being yesterday and remembering, the lives that are sacrificed, now Folds of Honor is being part of first responders. It's vital that we are extremely thankful, grateful, and giving back to those who fight for us. But, why do we do it? I think if you see it firsthand, what it's actually doing, and you get to meet the scholarship recipient, and you get to meet somebody that's fighting for cancer who lost a loved one so close to them because of cancer, it's easy. I question why you wouldn't, I guess is the bigger thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And again, I happen to see all the stuff that you guys are doing, and it's amazing. And even you guys are a community partner with Glens Falls Today, and again, supporting us in what we're trying to accomplish with free news for free people. And, we're grateful for that. And 100% echo everything that you said about veterans and first responders. We don't pay them enough. We don't give back to them enough.
No.
Even
right into teachers too.
Yeah.
I mean, people every day that, support us. And, I think that the thing that makes me, it's, I guess, want to fight a little bit more or push a little bit harder is that it's easy to take for granted.
Yeah.
And it's easy to take for granted because of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is that it just becomes like, no, this is the way it's supposed to be. But it's not. You know, in this world, there's places in this world that we all know of that it's, freedom is not real, where we have freedom that's real. And, it's just, I love to support it. I love to see, and thank the people for their support. And it's a cool thing to be a part of. It's fulfilling. Yeah,
I bet it is. So, and I've also seen the way that you guys take care of your clients, your employees. Like, it doesn't end with just some of the community giving. Like, you guys are really just a great company culture-wise, and like how you take care of everyone around you.
Yeah.
It's
well, I mean, I think that just goes into, what our philosophy is for the company. You know what I mean? Like, listen, we're a for-profit company. Not going to hide around it. We're going to charge for what we charge for what we give, and we're not perfect. And I think another buying local thing and positive about buying local is that when we screw up and we have to own it because it happens, you can call the owner of the company on the phone that's in, Glens Falls or Albany, and they can respond to it.
Yeah.
And you're not buying local, you're buying through somebody that is potentially subbing the work out to somebody else, and you have to take, you have to jump through hoops to potentially get a response. Like, well, when you're buying local, there's a commitment to, feeding back to that locally.
Yeah.
So that's another positive thing. But when it comes to customers and employees, I mean, listen, there's a lot of jobs out there that will give, a lot of employees like a lot of front-facing feedback of like, listen, we do dirty jobs. That's what we do. We do dirty jobs. And our employees are some of the best employees, the most loyal employees that have ever been around doing a dirty job. And so if you're not thankful for them, there's going to be plenty of other opportunity for them to go. And so, in today's day and age where people don't love to work as much as they used to before, making sure that you take care of your employees that are really working hard for you, I think it's good to be a part of a company that understands how important that is. And then the customer side of it, we really like to hang out with the customers, get to know them, see where there's other things. I'm not going to say at first it's about like, listen, if you get to know the customers have been more like, it's all about that. Like, I'm not going to hide around it. But at the same token, look at sitting right across, we're actually a customer of yours. Yeah. But we've grown a relationship. We consider each other friends now. Yeah. We'd like you to come to our customer events. Well, that's all, that's great for you and I to become friends, and I really appreciate it. But now when people ask me about media, I'm telling them about you. And I'm sure when people are asking you about cleaning, you're telling them about me. And that's the community aspect of how it all works. And it's cool to see with the connection, like, oh, so-and-so because they met him. And then that's neat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's, it's a really cool circle. Mm-hmm. They say the circle of friends, but it's a really cool circle, and to see it all come together. I'm excited to be a part of a company that actually believes in it. Yeah. And really believes in it. I mean, a lot of people, I've known tons of companies that when it comes to marketing and communications, they believe in it. But then when it comes to actually doing and acting and showing, it's like, we have a Christmas party once a year, kind of deal. So I'd love to say, we do it perfectly. I'm sure there's areas we could do a little bit better, but we do put forth our best effort and go after it the best we can. Yeah. So what, and you guys are on a pretty big hiring drive right now, right? Like you're looking for, not anyone, but you're looking for some more people to join your team because you're experiencing some growth. Is that right? Or yeah. So, we've had a really great opportunity to say that our employees that have been with us a long time, the tenure is growing and growing and growing. Mm-hmm. But like everything else, we haven't, probably because of all the efforts of Bill and Karen in our community, like we've just had opportunity that's continuing to grow and grow and grow. And I, as a manager, I want to get to a point where I can proactively say, I don't have business yet, but I have the people to do the business when it comes.
Sure.
And we're in that situation now where we're getting right, we're servicing our clients, but we're having some new opportunity that's opened up to us where I know I can bring on, 5, 6, 10 new industrial cleaners. But the biggest thing is, the overnight work. Are you willing to work overnight? Industrial cleaners that not just want a job, but we can grow into a career because we can certify them, certified technicians, kitchen exhaust cleaning, HVAC duct cleaning. Like we can put people on career paths, which is really cool because not a lot of companies can do that right off the bat, but we could. And then I know our epoxy floor division has the openings and trucks and equipment for at least 3 or 4 more people. And our permanent contracts, permanent contracts is where an employee goes to a facility every day, works 7 to 3. Very consistent work. It's a little bit different than the cleaning and the epoxy work, but it's a very consistent work. And every day, again, through relationships and everything, we've just seen positive opportunity, positive growth. Yeah, we're out there looking for people.
For the right people, it sounds
For the right people,
For
yeah.
the right people,
I mean, and one of the things about having a good company culture is I believe, listen, you're never truly going to know unless you bring somebody on. And you have to make the investment to bring somebody on. And that's a company investment. And either it's going to work or it's not. When you have a good company culture, most of the time you don't have to let them go because they just realize they don't fit in.
It's not the right place for them. That's just not the right
place for them. And I know that, that works for us because when people leave, they leave because they just don't fit in. And I'm not saying they're bad people. It's just our culture is our culture. We're proud of it. Yeah. And, if you fit into our culture, you don't have to, you can grow a career.
Yeah, that's great. What, tell me a little bit about the culture, because this is actually something that I keep running into in conversations with people that are, but businesses that are experiencing good amount of growth. And every one of them just is talking about culture. Well,
what I can tell you about culture is that no matter how good you think you are, somebody will disagree with one of the ways that you create culture, right? But, our company culture starts right from Bill and Karen, are the owners of our company. They like to take care of people. They have huge hearts. They struggle when somebody's struggling. If they take the employees' lives personal, what's happening in their lives personal to them as well. And so there's a lot of care and compassion and empathy. However, it's balanced with a strong expectation of what we stand for as a company. We are, we turn down business if we can't certify it, say it's perfect. In the kitchen exhaust, it's fire safety. Like if we can't do business properly, we just won't do business. We'd rather say no, not find a workaround. We stand behind everything we do. So it's this balance of really taking great care of our employees, but having, a strong sense of what you do and what your expectations are to be done. And with employees, you have to meet. Like if they believe in it, right, we'll believe in them. But if they don't believe in it, chances are they don't fit in our culture. And that's kind of where it doesn't work out. But I think right now with the way the world is and the way that it's just everyone's struggling for people, people, it's more than money. You know, what do they do for you and how do they take care of you? And what are the things that are maybe not in your paycheck? And, little things that, last year when I started working for this company, I got a chance to go pick up like a really awesome turkey from Primal. And I got a $75 gift card. And when I say meaning every person in our company got a $75 gift card to go buy groceries on Thanksgiving. And that was just because it's Thanksgiving. Like you have to take care of people. It wasn't like this is how we're going to keep employees. It was like it came from a place of, well, I want to make sure everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm so excited for them to enjoy their Thanksgiving. And there's a cost to it, but it didn't come from if we spend this much, we'll see this in return because our employees will enjoy it. No, it came simply out of, we got to make sure our employees have a good Thanksgiving. And if money's tight for them this year, we're going to help them.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from. And I think, the employees that we want see that. And that's how we keep the tenures up.
Yeah.
And when they give, we have employees that say, I want to be more certified in this. I want to go to the school for that. Can we do this? anytime somebody wants to better themselves, which of course betters our company, let's not, beat around the bush. We're all in. The answer is never no.
Yeah.
And I see that it started in the last few months. It's come up a little bit more and more. And I just love it to say, yeah, we'll help you get that certification. Yeah, we'll send you to school. We'll do that online class. We'll send you to a convention. No problem. That's cool.
It is cool. I love conventions, by the way.
The right conventions. Sometimes conventions could be tough, but the right conventions that are done well are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are. They're like trade shows, and I've been to so many different ones in different industries, sometimes as an employee or sometimes as a speaker, but the atmosphere that goes with like trade shows and conventions, man, it's just fun. Knowledge acquisition. And
a couple little plugs. The New York State School Facilities Convention at the Saratoga City Center is coming up October 8th and 9th, I think it is. It's a big one. A lot of people from, all the state schools, and National Restaurant Association is up in Lake Placid, I think, October 1st, which we'll be a part of.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of October, too, we've got Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up, right? Absolutely. And you guys got some stuff going on for October. Yeah. You wanna give us the lowdown?
So Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the biggest month that we get behind the American Cancer Society, which ties right into the Drive Out Cancer Golf League. So Bill Miller's campaign for Real Men Wear Pink. Last year he was the local winner. I think we were up around the $45,000 mark, and
that's how much money you raised?
That's how much money we raised. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
What's even more amazing is that we're already above it this year, and we haven't even gotten to October yet.
Holy moly!
Yeah, and so things are doing really well for that, but. Our campaign gives back. Bill and Karen, out of their pocket, help to support the campaign to help others give in everything that we do. But for the entire month of October, we get shirts made up that bring up breast cancer awareness. All the people that support the Drive Out Cancer Golf Leagues, logos are on those. And our employees that are in permanent placement, that are in the epoxy division and industrial cleaning division, they wear those shirts every day to work. And, the whole focus is to bring to light what we're supporting, what's going after. And right on our website, performanceindustrial.com, top thing says, help to give to Bill's foundation or the Real Men Wear Pink campaign. And we're competitive, So the bottom line, we want to win. What I mean? Awesome. We want to win both locally for the largest locally, but we also want to win because, Lizzie Hunter from American Cancer Society, she's out there, hitting the street every day trying to get more people to do it because her goal is that our Real Men Wear Pink combined with all the people locally that do it is the largest campaign nationally. And so I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we were the largest campaign, and we're competing against Chicago and Atlanta.
I know.
We're competing with business, but I think we got beat by the city of Chicago and the city of Atlanta last year, and the city of Albany, which comparably is a little bit different than Atlanta and Chicago. Yeah. But we came in third, which is really, that's because of Lizzie Hunter and how hard she pushes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
That's amazing being stacked up with big cities like Chicago and Atlanta, man.
Yeah, but, it's for the right reason, the right cause, and the right competitors with right leadership, and, good things happen.
How's the level of golf out there?
The Drive Out Cancer Golf League. Well, I can tell you we have a lot of fun. We enjoy it. Tomorrow, the weather does not look good for us, so I hope we don't have our first rain out of the season. But just to spotlight a couple of courses that 100% gave, meaning they came and let 40 people play for free, carts and everything. So Van Patten of Clifton Park, the Bunker in Clifton Park, and Normanside down in Del Mar. Those three golf courses gave 100%, covered 100% of the cost for 40 golfers with carts to golf.
Wow, that's substantial.
The money can all go back to American Cancer Society, which was incredible. But our other golf partners greatly reduced. I mean, we're talking like $10 a person for a cart and 9 holes. I mean, so greatly reduced. So we can't thank them enough. October 4th, I believe it is. I think it's the first Wednesday in October. We do our final. It's the finale, the 10th week. We do 18 holes. Normally we do 9. It's at Saratoga National. We start early because we're losing light. But we do 18 holes. It's like a little mini full-on golf tournament where we do all the games and everything. And then Mazzone Hospitality and Prime at Saratoga National do a really awesome cocktail party for us after. And it's a great time. And it's a great way to really kick off the month for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, because golf season is ending. The Drive Out Cancer Golf League is ending. We all have our gear on. It gets a lot of great exposure. Chris Honorato and team usually give us some great coverage, so we get on the news and just help them spread the word.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is Bill any good?
Bill has a drive.
Oh, yeah?
Bill can hit the ball.
Did he send
really,
the ball
really
down
far.
the course?
Bill has a hard time being a little patient. I don't know if you know Bill well. Bill has a hard time being. Bill took a couple extra seconds between each shot. He'd probably be really good, but Bill can smack the ball really hard, and he loves the enjoyment of being out there with a group of people and having a good time.
Yeah. No, he's not social at all.
No, he doesn't like.
He doesn't like people.
That's funny.
Just kidding, Bill. Obviously, we know that you love people. If you listen to this.
Yes.
So, what else is coming up for you guys? Anything else that we want to talk about? Or
well, we do have the Folds of Honor big gala.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Folds of Honor, we have the unique pleasure of having Lee Brice, nationally recognized country singer, one of the best there is, the number one albums, a few number one songs, I believe a number one album, that comes to somebody's backyard in Albany and plays a concert for us.
That's crazy.
It is October 18th.
Okay.
It's an awesome way to get involved. And, listen, I'm going to be straight with you. It's expensive. You know, what Lee charges to go and sing like at, Giant Stadium, or he was just recently at the Palace, compared to what we have to pay, he's essentially, I don't even think he's covering his cost. I think he's just trying to help supplement his costs. Probably cost him money out of his pocket to come and do it. But, it's a little bit expensive, but what an experience.
Yeah.
And so our goal this year on that event is to raise $400,000. That's our goal for that event, to help our year-end New York State fundraising efforts to get to like $750,000.
Wow.
And the whole goal on that is that we, as a Folds of Honor board, want to make sure that every scholarship for qualified scholarship request in the state of New York is filled. In the last 2 years, we can proudly say that not only have we filled every New York State scholarship for a qualified applicant, but then all of the rest of those funds go into the general pool to fill all the other states. The toughest part is that, I think I just heard yesterday as part of a 9/11 tribute, there was almost 1,000, if not more, of qualified applicants that we couldn't fulfill nationally for Folds of Honor. And now keep in mind, the people that are a qualified applicant is a husband, wife, mother, father that has been critically wounded, can't work, or has given, the ultimate sacrifice of death, from a first responder, to be able to be given a $5,000 a year scholarship to be used for school. And to say that, that these people, these are the ones that fight for the way that we live. We can't raise enough to give those qualified applicants, those who have lost mother, father, husband, wife, a little extra. It's the reason to get out there and raise more.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
So
it sounds like you guys are involved with raising a lot of money for the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing to be tied to.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like if someone says, "Oh, I know you because you raise a lot of money for the community," I'm not gonna be like, "All right, well, there's other rumors that are worse than that."
Well, I'd just like to say thanks on behalf of the community then, for everything that you guys are doing. Again, I think it's great. I see all the support that you give, and, I have a intimate knowledge of it, so to speak. So I think it's amazing, and I can't say enough good things about it. So,
well, I appreciate being here. Thanks for the partnership that we have and supporting us through everything we have going on, and hopefully we'll get Bill to listen.
Yeah, I know. Right? One day I keep asking him to come on our Blue Collar podcast, and he just ignores my text message.
Bill is the most sociable guy in the world, but when you say, "Here, talk in front of a whole group of people," it's like, well, aren't you available?
Yeah. If people want to learn more about Performance Industrial, how do they find you guys?
All right, so performanceindustrial.com is the easiest way. From there, it leads into everything else. Yeah. You can find us electronically through all of our contact forms. You can give us a call. Our phone numbers are there. The offices are local. We have an office out of Albany and an office in South Glens Falls. You'd be surprised about the scope of our business and how far and how intimate we'll get at different things. If we're not the right person for you, we will help you find somebody that is. Mm-hmm. And if you're somebody out there that needs some support and you want to reach out and we can help you, we will try to figure out a way to do so as well.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again. Like I said, I appreciate you taking the time to come down and hang out with us for a little bit and do some recording. And thanks again.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for listening, and you'll hear from us next time. Cerrone Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Queensbury, New York, has been offering services including installation and repair to our community for over 25 years. Their professionally trained plumbers and HVAC technicians are capable of completing any job from start to finish with a promise to deliver unmatched customer service in the process. The superpower that every citizen has is the ability to control where they spend their time, money, and attention. By focusing these on supporting local businesses, you are having a profound impact on your friends, your family, and your local community. So if you want to change the world, you can start with buying local.